As I said, Phil Williams has a special investigation that airs tonight at 6. And it's something he's been working on, continuing to look at, various situations in the Davidson County DA's office. We have a preview piece to air for you now that gives you an idea of what he'll be delving into tonight at 6. And I think you'll want to watch it. It should be interesting. Let's have a look at that piece.
What does Michael Brook do to earn $75,000 a year?
Auditors want to find out more about DA Glenn Funk's part-time employment of Michael Brook, the DA's retired finance director who now rakes in $75,000 a year, including billing taxpayers for time when his calendar shows he was golfing.
Michael Brook is an important member of our office, has been for...
What does he do?
He has worked nonstop to make sure that the transition has gone forward with regards to both the financial pieces of our office as well as the HR pieces and as far as the body cams go.
Yet records uncovered by News Channel 5 Investigate show Brook had swiped into DA offices just 5 days in 2 years, logged into the DA's computer system just 4 days in 11 months, and he had not sent a work-related email from his DA's account since September 4th of last year. Retired State Auditor Dennis Dicus.
So the fact that he hasn't sent a work-related email in more than a year, what does that tell you?
He's not working. That's just my take on it.
Our investigation also caught employees of the DA's office working for Funk's re-election campaign getting vacation time approved after we started asking questions, and in one case sitting on an original set of PTO records while giving us forms that had been backdated.
This raises questions that someone else should investigate.
Absolutely.
Metro's internal auditor Lauren Riley tells me, quote, the Office of Internal Audit is aware of and has been following your recent news stories related to the district attorney's office. We are currently evaluating potential next steps, which, if taken, would be in the form of an investigation. We have regular meetings with the comptroller's office, and we will coordinate any work performed with them. A spokesperson for State Comptroller Jason Mumpower's office added, the comptroller's office has broad authority to review government entities, including the Office of the District Attorney General of the 20th Judicial District. It is our policy to not comment further.
Guilty or not?
Guilty.
Still, some have observed that Funk's case against former Mayor Megan Beres hinged on taxpayers being billed for time allegedly not worked by the police bodyguard with whom she had a relationship. In this case, the DA insists that Michael Brook's time was completely justified and nothing inappropriate was done. Whatever auditors find will likely go to Tennessee's Attorney General Jonathan Scrimetti. A spokesperson says the Attorney General's office is aware of these issues and has no comment at this time.
All right, so there you have it. That basically, it's a two-pronged, I think, story that's going down today. That was one that broke earlier today, an exclusive with Phil, on the fact that auditors will be looking into the situation about, you have an employee making all this money for doing what, and you see that, and whether or not some of his staff were getting paid for doing campaign work. Okay, that's one prong. The other prong that you'll see much more of tonight is Phil's investigation into the DA's office, also determining, are all of the DUI cases being properly prosecuted or not, and what decision-making process goes into that. So really, that's two prongs that Phil has coming up, and that'll be tonight at 6. You'll want to check that out. All right, we have more phone calls in this segment here. Want to take, I think we've got Ronnie back now, and I think Ronnie is back online. Is it 3? Ronnie, good morning. Hi, Ronnie. Go ahead. Hi, Ronnie.
How you doing? How you doing, handsome?
Good, good. Thank you. Thank you. Very nice. What's up?
Well, I'm concerned. I'm 84 years old, and due to the weather, and like the gentleman said, his knee and his back, like, duh.
Yeah.
Get ready for the ride.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, yes. Okay, anyway, I watch, it sounds bad, but I watch Hallmark a lot because it's normal. It's not like flash, 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 and all this, crazy things. And I watch it a lot because, I was with Hee Haw for about 26 years. Mm-hmm. I was with Hee the show. I was the talented one. The rest were dogs. Huh. Just joking. Anyway, I'm concerned about all the commercials. I counted 13 commercials between on one show.
Yep.
And I didn't even know. I thought to myself, where are they at? Because where was I at when they left it? So I just want to say that I'm really concerned because I know they get paid, by the people that want to sell their product, and then we have to buy the television shows like the TV. You don't use rabbit ears anymore, and you've got to pay and put out, and it's really a lot of money.
Listen, you're not wrong about the number of commercials these days. Now, the bottom line is the commercials pay all of our salaries to do what we do. But it's interesting what she says. Unless, and many people do have off-air rabbit ears televisions. But if you don't, you're paying for either dish or a cable service. And then on top of it, you're sitting through these commercials time and again that are between programs that raise money, and they pay to, look, I'm not going to knock the commercial advertisers because we need them, and they hopefully advertise with us because they know a lot of eyes see them. And look, I'm someone who sees certain things advertised, and I go out and buy it. That's the way it is. But you do notice sometimes that the commercial breaks are on par sometimes with how long each segment of the show is. And you have more commercials running to pay for things, and that's just the reality these days, which is why in some cases people, go elsewhere to get some of their programming, where there isn't as much commercial, or it's pay-per-view and you don't have those ads. And that's one of the things you like about movies, even though you have previews. If you go to a movie theater, you rent a movie at home. But she's right. But commercials have always been part of the equation. And some of the commercials I like. The craziest thing is that there are TV shows about commercials. And what I'm referring to there is the Super Bowl commercials. There's actually TV shows looking at the best Super Bowl commercials of all time. Isn't that crazy? And the truth is, depending on how good the game is anyway, sometimes I watch the Super Bowl for the commercials, because when you think about it, an ad, I think 30 seconds for a Super Bowl ad nationwide is several $1 million. And some of these companies, do you really get that much bang for the buck for it? Sometimes you do. But look, hey, commercials are part of it. View it this way. Without them, you wouldn't have the programming to watch, because that's what pays our salaries, and we appreciate the advertisers. I'm not going to sit here and knock them, but it's just a reality, and it was that way when I was a kid. There's always commercials out there. Let's go next to James. James, good morning. Hi, James. Are you there, James?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's on your mind?
This is Open Lines, right?
You bet. What you got?
All right, it's everybody's 2 cents. That's what I love about the show.
Go
man.
for it.
Thank you. I appreciate you give everybody a way to outlet, say what I want.
Sure.
This is how I feel. And, dude, I think I'm looking at a national show. I don't think I'm looking at a 1615 show. I think I'm looking at a national show, brother.
Well, thank you. I know, you can pick us up on social media, and it can go anywhere. So, yeah, you enjoy it. So, what, did you want to sound off on something, or are you just calling to be nice?
No, I'm calling to be nice, brother.
Well,
One day I might catch you out in Mount Juice and take you to lunch.
If we go out, it's on me, okay? Let's do it. Where do you live anyway? What part of town? Where are you?
Pumpkin Town, man. I have a place in Wilson County on the line.
Okay.
On the Smith and Wilson County line, but dude, I'm up in Pumpkin Town. I'm up next to God's country, and they pump sunlight in here on most days.
That's awesome. Well, listen, you have a very happy Thanksgiving. I'm in Wilson County also, and I appreciate that. Thank you for calling. And again, there's James. He's another one who's a semi-regular caller, and I just appreciate hearing from him. Listen, one thing I wasn't able to put out, and I just want to let many of you know, we've done a few shows, obviously, on the new East Bank redevelopment, okay? And the biggest centerpiece of that is going to be plans for a new $2 billion football stadium going in there. There's a lot of questions still about this. The mayor is very much behind it, as are city leaders and businesses. But tonight at East Nashville High School's auditorium is a chance for public comment on the stadium proposal, all right? The East Bank Stadium Committee is leading the council's efforts in all of this to try to get public comment and find out what you think about this. Now remember, nothing is finalized yet for the project, okay? There are various readings going through this. A big pro right now for supporters of the new stadium is that it could increase tourism. All right, Nashville Convention and Visitors Corps CEO Butch Spiriton says, yeah, they support the project. That should be no surprise. They talk about all the money, but there's other folks out there that wonder, does that much money really need to be going into it? And here's some of the visuals of what this new stadium would look like. It does look spectacular right there On the East Bank, it would be the centerpiece of an East Bank redevelopment. It would keep the Titans here for years, and I don't know, the way it was pitched by the sheriff's department, I mean, not the sheriff, the mayor's office and others, it makes sense in a lot of ways. But on the other hand, okay, you always wonder, where are the hidden costs, or are these estimates, once we get into it, going to be off base? And once you start a project like this, there's no turning back. So if you get into it and you realize, oh, wait a second, this is going to cost us a lot more, it's going to hit the taxpayers in the pocketbook, you can't go back. That's why I appreciate the Metro Council looking at this, vetting it. If there needs to be adjustments, fine, let's go that way. But the way it's shaping up, in my opinion, is that it's going to be done. This is going to happen. And I think the way it's been pitched, the way I understand it, it makes financial sense in the big picture. But I'm going to wait and see what else is brought up. But just keep in mind, if you have a strong opinion on this, it's going to be at East Nashville High School's auditorium tonight. I think the public comment meeting gets underway at 6 o'clock. And by the way, it's the first of 5 meetings that are scheduled over the next 3 weeks. So if you're a citizen here and you're interested in having a say, show up for that. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got a special guest to join us to talk about Franktown Festival of Lights. There's a lot of great opportunity to see some spectacular holiday lights. It's really getting underway right now. Join us for this. We're going to tell you about this and get into all what makes a great lighted neighborhood right after this. Stay with us.